international crowd is ready for the women's 4x400-meter relays.
Here's how they will line up in this final event. On the women's side, Poland, Americas, Asia, United States, Europe, Africa, Russia, Greece, Oceania. And Tonique Williams-Darling is in the order for the Americas. I'm not aware of her running since coming off the track in New York back in June with some type of a foot or leg problem. So that should be interesting. Asafa Powell was on the anchor for the Americas team yesterday, but the stick never got to him, so he was unable to compete. DeeDee Trotter will start it off for the U.S. team. Lashinda Demus, the 400-meter hurdler, will anchor. Monique Henderson, Olympic champion in the 4x400-meter relay, as is DeeDee Trotter. Here's the Europe select team with Vania Stambolova, the second best 400-meter runner in the world this year, anchoring. Amy Thiam will start off the team for Africa. She is a former world champion in the 400 meters. For the very always strong Russian team, Yuliya Pachankina, the champion in the 400-meter hurdles in that quartet. And we see that Vania Halkia will not be running on the 4x400 for Greece. The Olympic champion in the 400 hurdles did not run her event here. She ran the flat 400 and finished 4th. The U.S. women well down in their customary place at World Cup, around 4th, 5th, 6th, somewhere in there, depending on how the points here are distributed. And they're away on the final event of this 10th IAAF World Cup in athletics, the women's 4x400 meter relay. The Russian team with an 8-point lead in the team race over the Europe select team. Russia in lane 7 in this 4x400, the United States in lane 4. We expect the race between those two teams, with the Europe select team also being a part of that. But right now, as you can see, the Russian team in the lead, the U.S. second. When they hand off, the second runner must stay in their lane through the first turn and then cut to the pole. And Monique Henderson of the U.S. appearing to be in the lead. America's team in lane 2 now appearing to get into the lead. They can now break for the pole. Russians right now well back in 3rd. Monique Henderson, the former NCAA 400-meter champion, running against Tonique Williams-Darling, the 400-meter world champion and Olympic champion. Sidelined much of the year with some leg problems, but very strong here in this relay carry. She's letting Henderson through on the inside, though. That's a major mistake. But Henderson unable to take advantage. So it's going to be the Americas team handing off first, then the U.S., then Russia. Europe select team in 4th place. But remember, Russia has an 8-point lead over the Europe select team. And the Americas team just not giving it up. The Russian team still well back. It's a battle between the Americas team and the USA. Tonique Williams-Darling running a great second leg for the Americas team. Lashinda Demus for the U.S. She's a very solid 400-meter runner, but she's not good enough to close this gap, I don't believe. It's a matter of holding off the Russian team for second. Demus running on the 4x400 relay at her alma mater, University of South Carolina. Just being beaten yesterday in the 400-meter hurdle. She had the lane 1 draw. The Russians back in it. But I don't think they'll close that gap. It'll be the Americas followed by the US and then Russia. So unless there was a violation that no one here has seen, Russia will win the Women's World Cup title. Here's that first exchange. The US handing off first, then very close between the Americas team and the Russian team. Monique Henderson, from being a very experienced relay runner, took it out very hard. But Tonique Williams-Darling, right here, watch her. She's way outside in lane 1. Monique Henderson really needed a burst there to take advantage of that mistake, but the Americas team handing off in front and was never headed after that. An attempt at a pass there, but nothing doing. And that takes so much energy when you don't make that pass. I guess the officials decided that the U.S. team was ever so slightly ahead with 200 meters to go. That's why Lashinda Demus of the U.S. had the inside position, and that is always problematic, or oftentimes problematic. We see it all the time in the collegiate ranks. The Americas team, 3:19.84, the fastest time in the world this year. Season best for the U.S. team at 3:20.69, an average of about 50.16 per relay member. Not bad.
Not bad at all, as this race brought out the best in every team. The United States had a gutsy attempt, but in the end, a world record for the Americas brings home the gold. It's the men's turn next here on World Championship Sports.